other TMCA members who served honorably in Vietnam. Would you please stand and uncover as the National Junior Marines present colors at the front door. Thank you, Junior Marines. The sailors, soldiers, airmen, and Marines we salute today often came home with limited recognition of their service. Today we acknowledge and thank them and pay tribute to their courage, sacrifices, and devotion to country. We begin by reading Joint Senate Resolution 381, introduced by State Senator Jack Johnson of the 23rd District and passed this month by the Tennessee Senate and House. Whereas our nation was conceived by individuals who were willing to sacrifice their personal safety and concerns to ensure our individual and collective freedom, and the volunteer state is especially proud to be the home of so many valiant men and women who have performed above and beyond the call of duty. And whereas the citizens of the United States have, throughout the years, been called upon to take up arms against the enemies of this great nation, risking their lives and leaving their loved ones behind to honorably safeguard the freedoms and liberties guaranteed to all Americans and vanquishing those who threaten our way of life. And whereas the brave service of our soldiers during the Vietnam War continued this time-honored tradition of Tennessee volunteerism, as members of the Tennessee Military Collectors Association answered the nation's call to service to defend democracy and defeat communism in a place far from home. Such individuals include Corporal David G. Greg Hester, Private E2 Robert Dunlap, Specialist 5th Class Ted D. Wiley, Lieutenant Colonel Barry O. Shields Jr., Petty Officer 2nd Class Peter Palazzi, First Lieutenant Gene D. Andrews, CM1 Robert Elrod, Airman 1st Class Joe R. DeBruce, Captain Michael Lavin, Private 1st Class Willie M. Gentry, First Lieutenant Keith Durkee, Staff Sergeant John Stryker Tilt Meyer, Specialist 4th Class George Peterson, and Sergeant Roy Chilson. And whereas in the decades since the Vietnam War, these gentlemen have continued to demonstrate honor, hard and honest work, love of family and community, and the true courage it takes to lead such a life through their deeds and actions. And whereas too many times the brave men and women who served in Vietnam have not been accorded the respect and gratitude they deserve for their courageous actions that ultimately help shape the history of our great country, and whereas it is fitting that this General Assembly should pause in its deliberations to recognize these veterans of the Vietnam War who served with such dignity, aplomb, and grace. Now therefore be it resolved by the Senate of the 112th General Assembly of the State of Tennessee, the House of Representatives concurring, that we honor and commend the Vietnam War veterans of the Tennessee Military Collectors Association, thank them for their service to this great nation, and extend them our best wishes for every continued success and happiness. We will now present certificates of commendation to each of those TMC members. These presentations will be made by State Representative Sam Whitson of the 65th District and TMC President Jimmy Howe. Veterans, as your name is called, please step forward to receive your commendation. Gene D. Andrews, First Lieutenant, United States Marine Corps. Roy Chilson, Sergeant, United States Air Force. Joe R. DeBruce, Airman 1st Class, United States Air Force. Robert Dunlap, Private E2, United States Army. Keith Durkee, First Lieutenant, United States Army. Robert Elrod, CM1, United States Navy.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Willie M. Gentry, Private First Class, United States Army. Donald Greg Hester, Corporal E4, United States Marine Corps. Michael Lavin, Captain, United States Army. John Stryker Tilt Meyer, Staff Sergeant, United States Army Special Forces. George Peterson, Specialist 4th Class, United States Army. Pete Palazzi, Petty Officer 2nd Class, United States Navy. Barry O'Shield Jr., Lieutenant Colonel, United States Army. Ted D. Wiley, Specialist 5th Class, United States Army. We would also like to recognize some additional TMC members who we identified as serving, and we will be making a presentation to them as well. Those individuals include Bill Brooks,
there you go. Step up there and get your picture.
Don Crum, Jim Sinnott,
Go ahead.
Michael Whitley Sr.,
These are the bashful ones.
Jack Wells,
They're here. Yeah, come on, Jim. Get them that Jim Sinnott say.
Bill Fortner,
Thank you, Jim. Appreciate it. Just picture back.
Jerry Razor, Lewis Russell, gentlemen, on behalf of the TMCA Board of Directors, officers, and members, thank you for your military service in Vietnam. We appreciate and respect you. Dealers and guests, thank you for helping us honor these brave individuals. Let's give them a round of applause before we resume activities.
Good job, Mr. Brown.